Okay. All right. So we're live on both. All right, man. So let's go ahead and get started.
All right, man.
So
So,
yeah, let's talk NFL first. NFL Week 2 recap. What you got?
so let's go. Let's go. We'll start with the Monday night game since it's fresh on our mind from
Monday night.
yesterday. Yeah, Monday night game. What did you think? Like, how overall as a game did you watch? Were you able to watch the whole game at all, or what?
Yeah, I was. I was. Yeah.
What was your overall takeaway?
I think Eagles fans need to calm down. Um,
Yeah.
they should be 2-0. Without a doubt, they should be 2-0.
Yeah.
I think that Eagles defense at the end looked like Joe Barry's defense. Kirk Cousins had no adversity, and Kirk Cousins did not look that good all game long. And I think they played very soft. They didn't bring no pressure, and I think they paid the price for it. Um, I see a lot of people throwing shade at Jalen too, uh, because he has 4 interceptions now. But the truth is, he should have never had a pick last night. If Saquon catches the ball, that's game over, and he doesn't throw a pick. And I mean, it was a different. It was when he threw the pick, it was during desperate times.
Mhm.
A lot of quarterbacks throw a pick during desperate times. So I think they need to relax, but at the same time, they should have won the game. And I think they had a little bit of what the Packers had to deal with last week. Just like a lot of dumb stuff that needed to be cleaned up. That's my take on it. Did you want to talk more on the throw?
Yeah, so you talked about Saquon not catching it. I agree he should have caught it. I think everybody agrees he should have caught it. They ran that same exact play when Saquon almost scored that touchdown. It was some like identical plays. But in my opinion, I think a lot of people have been saying it today too. They probably should have ran the ball. They were running the ball pretty good against that Falcons defense all night, anyways. Even if they didn't get that first down, you're gonna bleed the clock down well under a minute and still kick the field goal. And now the Falcons have less than a minute to drive down the field. Now, so
Yeah,
again, Saquon should have caught the ball. If he would have caught the ball, it would have been a first down, maybe even a touchdown. Um, but yeah, going back to that defense, man, like yeah, you Saquon didn't catch the ball, you get the field goal, you go up six. That there's no reason that Kirk Cousins should have hit receivers on the outs by the sidelines. The defender should have been guarding the sidelines, play everything middle.
hmm
I think that's where I think they caught like 2 passes on the sideline to get out of bounds. Like that was ridiculous. But I think, like I said, I think overall they just had a breakdown in the fourth quarter, or at least the last part of the fourth quarter. They should have, like I said, they should have ran the ball, whether it was with Saquon, whether it was a QB draw, whatever the case may be. And then, of course, the defense didn't hold up the last minute and a half, whatever it was, and let Kirk Cousins go all the way down the field with ease,
yeah.
basically.
I think the Eagles need to realize that they have a very good running back. I think they need to realize that. They do, but if they really did, they would have handed the ball. I mean, it's kind of like Marshawn Lynch in the Super Bowl. Like, why not handle the ball?
Right.
But like this is what I also think too. 3rd and 3 for the Eagles offense, it benefits them more than any other offense in the league because they got the tush push and they got Saquon on top of that. So
Yeah.
let's say they run the ball on 3rd and 3 and they pick up a yard. They can get 2 yards with just a tush push alone.
Yeah.
So like I think it benefits them. Like they should have ran the ball. Now I can't critique the play too much because the guy was wide open. They called a play that they knew was going to work. So at the end of the day, it's not you can't blame the coaches. You can't blame the play call. You got to blame Saquon on that.
Saquon, and
Yeah,
he took ownership. I mean, if you watch the interviews, he said, "I lost the game for the team," which I mean, yeah, you're an NFL player, you got to catch that pass. But I mean, again, you Saquon was averaging four, I think, almost 4.5 yards a carry all night.
yeah.
Jalen Hurts
He looked
rushed.
good. He looked good.
Had 6.5 yards per his carries last night. So I mean, just don't even. I get it. Like I said, it was a perfect play call. Like I said, they had just ran it that same quarter. I think it was the fourth quarter. The same quarter, like Saquon almost scored a touchdown off the same play. but I think you just run it. I don't think the Falcons go even if like I said even if they don't get that first down off running it and they don't do the tush push, they go with the field goal. I think the Falcons don't drive down the field that fast because they'll probably have like 40 seconds or so. I don't remember the time off the top, but I think they'll have like that, and I don't think they go down the field.
Yeah, well, I mean, also too, you got to take into consideration if they run the ball and they don't get the first down, they kick the ball, and instead of a minute 39 on the clock, Kirk only has like less than a minute. So that would be more desperate times for Kirk. But the thing is, you left them way too much time. 139 with no timeouts. You also got they had no timeouts. They could have ran the ball and hey, Kirk, come beat us with less than a minute left.
Yeah.
Instead they said come beat us with a minute 39, and Kirk is like, okay, I'll take that. So. But I will say the Falcons had no business winning this game. But I do think the Eagles still looked good defensively. Just the last play, they looked bad. Before that, they held Kirk Cousins to 170 yards passing, and then he went off on that last drive and ended with like 241, I think, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So they did a good job on Kirk. It's just like, and Kirk, what he did on that last drive, like. He wasn't doing that all game. So you got to put like the defensive coordinator. I know they got a new coordinator out there, but like he got to realize like, okay, like as long as he learns from this, like I got to bring pressure in this kind of time. I mean, because it's Kirk Cousins, right? It's not like it's Daniel Jones. Like you gotta bring, because if you don't bring pressure, Kirk Cousins is gonna pick you apart.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they were bumping at the line on that last drive. They definitely should have done some of that. I don't think they were.
They're playing a lot, like back a lot. I know the defense. Do you still feel this? I know we talked about the Eagles last week, and you were talking about talent-wise. Yes, they have the roster. Do you still they are still one of the top rosters? Yeah, Eagles.
Yeah. Well, okay. See, I do, but I also feel like the whole NFC is getting good. Like you got the Saints look good, the Bucks look good, Atlanta looks good, Packers look good. Eagles look good, Niners look good. Before, like during the regular season, I would just mainly keep an eye on like our division, see who's doing good. But I'll be honest, lately I've been keeping an eye on Eagles, Niners because
the whole conference. Yeah.
But yeah, the reason why is because I think this year the number one seed is up for grabs. I think anyone can win the NFC, or the first seed, like especially Saints, even the South. I think the South has potential on getting the number one seed if they continue to play well, and then the other divisions they fall later on in the season. I don't see that happening. I don't see the NFC South grabbing the number one seed. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's up for grabs, man. It's up for grabs. So.
Okay. And we can segue into the rest of the NFL. We can recap some of the games that happened on Sunday.
I'll just say this: Eagles should be 2-0. I know there's a lot of Eagles fans, and I think they got rid of everyone, man. Like all the coaches, coordinators this year, and there's word on the street that Eagles they're very impatient. I think, dude, they just need to realize that they should be 2-0. They're still a good football team, and you gave this one away. But just swallow it, move on, and they'll be all right. They'll be all right.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned some of those top teams in the NFC. What team stood out to you this week? What team kind of caught your eye? Like, oh man, didn't realize.
Bucks, and NFC.
Just in general. What games?
I like the Bucks and the Saints, man.
Yeah.
They I mean, you gotta throw Atlanta in there too, man. They went into Philly and put a spanking on. Well, they didn't put a spanking, but they went in and they won. But I think Derek, I say the Saints more than the Bucks. The only reason, Andrew, did you know that they scored on their first 15 possessions of the season?
Yeah, they scored 94 points in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy.
The first week against Carolina, okay, you expect them to do some damage, but against that Cowboys defense, in which Cowboys did not look good at all.
They kind of remind me of Joe Barry's defense, not like how the scheme, but they're inconsistent, bro. They're inconsistent, just like Joe Barry was. And you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win when you're inconsistent. And I mean, I don't know if they're running the same scheme as in when they had Quinn, but now that Quinn's gone, they definitely have someone new, and they looked good against the Browns, and then they put up a goose egg against the Saints. So it's very it's are the Saints offense that good, or did the Cowboys D need a wake up call or something. But
Yeah, I think the Saints are going to be that good. I really, I mean, I said it last week. I picked them to win the South.
yeah,
Um, so I just, for whatever reason, I know, like I said, I know it was Carolina, but I was like, man, they look really good. And then they come out against the Cowboys, and I'm like, man, like putting up that many points in the first 2 weeks, especially, I mean, against, like I said, we thought the Cowboys were going to have that good defense like they had last year at least during the regular season. Um, uh, yeah, I thought the Saints that was one of the teams that stood out to me. Um, Another team that I was kind to
I'll look something up too.
another team that I was kind of like, wow, that was kind of shocking. The Raiders.
Did they look good though? I mean, I know they won, but did they look good?
Oh, that's the I guess that's the point. Did they look good or did the Ravens look bad? And if the
Well,
Ravens look bad, then the Ravens are in trouble because they got a hard. Ravens have a hard schedule coming up.
yeah. The Ravens were up 10 in the fourth quarter. So, and I'll be honest, they were up 10 in the fourth quarter. And then when the score said final, I saw the score 26-23 in my head. Like I didn't really look at it, but I was like, oh, okay, the Ravens won by 3. It wasn't until 15 minutes later, I was looking at a TV and it said 26-23 Raiders. I was like, what? So I went back and checked and I was like, wow, they really blew a 10-point lead. Like, wow, that's terrible, man. So yeah, I mean that's why I was saying, like, did they play good or did the Ravens just suck it up at the end? But
I mean, yeah, I mean, you got to come back 10 points. You got to have some type of. I mean, I know Devontae looked like Devontae in that game.
yeah, he did.
I mean, Max Crosby was killing Lamar. It seemed like every time I looked at the TV, I felt like Max Crosby was in the backfield. Now, I'm not going to say the Raiders are a playoff team or anything like that, but I'm just like, I mean, you sitting here thinking the Ravens should be 1-1 and they're 0-2, and it's like what? And then they got Ravens got Dallas this week. I think they have. Let me look who they have next week.
Who, the Ravens?
Raven or the following week, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. I'll let you look that up, and then
Yeah.
after that, I wanted to jump to the AFC side as well.
Yeah, so the Ravens have the Cowboys, Bills, Bengals the next 3 games. So it's like they could, if they don't get it together, they can easily be 0-4, 1-5, something like that. And the AFC North looks a little different than we all thought.
Yeah. Well, I personally think we're gonna talk about the 0-2 teams here in a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the Bengals are the number one team that is 0-2 that can bounce back. If you look at their schedule, they can possibly win the next 8 straight. If you ask me, I think they can bounce back. They looked very good against the Chiefs. Should have won. I think.
What do you think about that penalty call?
It was a good call, but I think it was more of the Chiefs got bailed out more than Mahomes did what he had to do. They got bailed out. But it was the right call. And I was watching that and I was like, that ball was like a little high. Like if you don't touch him, that's still a hard throw. I mean, it's still a hard catch for him. Like I was like, man, like you gave up the game. But then again, you have Jamar Chase getting that penalty, like cost them yardage. And like it was just very ugly for the Bengals at the end. But I think for the most part of the game, I mean, they picked off Mahomes twice, I think.
Yeah.
I think the Bengals should have won. I know they're 0-2, but I think they can possibly win the next 8 and then win the AFC North.
Yeah, I mean it's possible. Like I said, with the Ravens not looking too good, I mean the Steelers 2-0, but they haven't looked great. I mean, the defense is carrying that team more than anything.
I think if you look at all the 2-0 teams, the pretender in the AFC is probably the Steelers at 2-0.
2-0.
And I think the pretender in the NFC is probably the Vikings. But they gave it to the Niners, dude. They gave it but they have, if you look at the history, like in the recent history, they've owned the Niners in Minnesota. So
yeah, it's 92. They haven't won since 92.
Yeah.
That's as old as we are.
But I don't know. I didn't watch the game, Niners and Vikings, but
I had it on. Or no, I didn't have it on because it was the same time the Packers were playing. I didn't watch it either. So
supposedly, I heard a lot of people critiquing Purdy.
Yeah, so his stat, let me go to that. He didn't like apparently in the fourth quarter he didn't look the best. But if you go to the box score, he only missed 8 passes. He threw for 319 yards, a touchdown, an interception, but he did have a costly fumble too. So his stats don't look horrible, but just this play was bad.
Yeah, we got someone in the TikTok live said Saints look amazing. Yeah, they do, man. They look.
Yeah,
They
for
just
sure. Like I said, I said it like I said, I knew it was like a throwing at dartboard, but I said I think the Saints could win this out. Now the Tampa Bay looks good too, but I was like, I just think,
Falcons look good.
huh?
Falcons look good.
Yeah. I'm a little concerned with the Falcons. The only thing with the Falcons I'm a little concerned about is like they they really didn't look good until the fourth quarter, like that really
Yeah,
that time,
yeah.
and then they didn't look good against Pittsburgh either. So it tells me if somebody has like any type of pressure, they're not going to be able to hold. Now again, week two. We might be overreacting a little bit, but just what Pittsburgh did to them week one, and then like I said, the Eagles got to Kirk Cousins a lot. It seems like yesterday, and except for the last drive. But if in the South right now, it's between the Bucks and the Saints, and like I said, I went with the Saints, but they look really good. We're going back to San Fran though. There might be a little trouble.
Yeah.
With go ahead. You were gonna say something?
No, yeah, I don't know if they're in trouble, but
As far as being dominant,
injury
yeah,
wise.
yeah, because CMC's out, Debo's gonna be out for a few weeks. It seems like.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, and like you said, if Brock doesn't do Brock things, then
Yeah.
there might be they might not be.
But the good thing that the Niners got going for them, they don't really got to work as of right now because Rams are injured too. They
Yeah,
don't
or
really
they got
have
the
anyone to
Rams
worry
injured.
about in the NFC West. Maybe the Cardinals. The Cardinals looked for real yesterday. They did, and Marvin Harrison Jr. looked good. So I mean, like that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if the Rams are not doing too well, the Cardinals, even though they looked good last week, I'm not sold on them. And then the Seahawks, they barely beat the Patriots in overtime. So I mean, like the Niners really don't have anything to worry about. Like yet, I'll say that yet.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is you had kind of touched on it before. There's really the NFC, and I think the AFC too. The NFL is wide open right now. I don't
Mhm.
think there's like that dominant team that we all thought like the Niners and Chiefs were going to be these dominant teams or whatever. But I think anybody could get that one seed at this point in time.
You talking about NFC or AFC?
Both. There's not a dominant team right now, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, Andrew, the Chiefs just beat top two AFC teams in week 1 and 2. I mean, I still think they're the clear favorites in the AFC.
Oh well, yeah, they're going to be the clear favorites, but they didn't look good doing it. So usually we're like, okay, that they got it. Okay, let's go. They got it. But now it's like it. I think they can be beat. Like everybody in this year is like very beatable and not really like, oh my gosh, that might be a loss for my team or whatever.
Yeah.
So I get it. They beat the Ravens and they beat the Bengals, yes.
Yeah.
But man, like you said, the Bengals should have won that game.
Yeah. I also think
I mean, think about it. The Chiefs are basically 2 plays away from being 0-2. If Isaiah Likely's toe gets in, the Chiefs lose that game.
If you think about it, their schedule was set up for them to go 0-2. They had the Ravens and the Bengals, man. I mean, both of them were home games, but like they had 2 hard games out the gate, and they had the Super Bowl hangover, and they came away with 2 wins. So I think that's pretty much saying like, hey, we still the top dogs in the AFC. I mean, but like I said, it's week 2. I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, this is all overreaction.
The Chiefs lost Pacheco.
Yeah, that's another injury. Let's go ahead and talk about some of these injuries, right? Since we thought about it. So week 1, I mean, we lost Jordan Love, we lost Chris McCaffrey didn't even play to start off the season. Now we San Fran loses Debo, Pacheco's out, Puka Nacua went out first week. Cooper Kupp's out now. Trying to think of Tua. like, I mean, injuries this year so far have been kind of brutal
Yeah.
for teams, and I think that's why I'm thinking like not a lot of team like that's why I think the league is open for whoever because of these injuries. Because they're not just like little injuries where they might miss a week here and week here.
Yeah.
Like Christian's gone for 4 weeks,
Yeah.
Debo's out for multiple weeks, Cooper Cup's out for multiple weeks. It's like, and Jordan, I mean, we'll hopefully we'll talk about that a little bit, but hopefully he's back sooner rather than later. Tua went on the IR. He's at least gone,
Four
what,
games.
4 weeks
Four
it
games.
is. Yeah, and who knows if I mean, I know he said he doesn't plan to retire, but um,
Hmm.
who knows if they even put him back in? I don't know.
Kind of reminds me of the Packers with Nick Collins when he hurt
Uh,
his neck. I think he hurt his neck, and I think McCarthy said, "Hey man, like we're not going to play you anymore."
yeah,
So his season or his career was cut short.
yeah,
I don't think he signed with anyone else after that.
yeah.
Um,
Michael Finley did the same thing. Like I don't know if it was a coach's call, but I know he had a bad like spine injury or something like that, and
now you got Dylan dealing with the same thing that Collins was dealing with, the stinger in the neck. So
yeah,
I mean, we'll see. I wanted to ask you, what do you think Tua should do?
he should retire, man.
You think he should retire?
He should retire. He's gonna get his money. I mean,
I don't know.
he's gonna get the money, so it's not like he needs like it's not like his living situation is going to change that much. I just think, man, like if that didn't like, I know we're looking at it as like fans, people sitting on the couch, but that didn't even look like a hard hit, and it made him like tense up.
Yeah,
You know?
like
So
I felt like I felt like Jalen, like that same hit that Tua took. I felt like Jalen took a lot of that last night, and like he
yeah,
was, he
yeah.
was, but
I,
like
I think I think he should retire.
my thought on it is at this point right now, I'm I'm all for whatever Tua wants to do because I feel like as a fan, it's so easy to say, "Oh, you should retire," but like football's not our life, bro. Like to some of these football players, like football is their life. So
Yeah.
like I don't know if that's Tua's case. So I'm at the point where like, hey Tua, whatever you want, but I will say I do believe your health is more important than football. I will
Oh,
say,
and I think that's where I'm at with it too. Like if you want to play, play.
yeah,
You're,
and I
you're
don't
an
think
adult, but
I don't think it's
yep.
fair. I don't think it's fair to Tua that we're over here telling him, "Oh, retire," but no one was saying that about Damar Hamlin. If anything, everyone was praising him when he stepped back on the football field. If you ask me, Hamlin should have retired. If we're gonna say Tua needs to retire, then Damar Hamlin should retire too. I mean, why are we praising Damar Hamlin for coming back? But then if Tua comes back, we're like,
Uh,
nah, nah,
because
nah.
because it's a one-off instance. Tua, it's
Yeah, but
multiple time. Like
I don't know, man. I
yeah,
mean,
it's a multiple time, and like I said, like I mean, to each its like you said, to each his own. I just it's just so many times that Tua's been concussed, and that we have so much more data on like head injuries than we used to. That is it worth it in the long run? I mean, look at some of these people that possibly cut their lives short because of some of the hand damage. I mean, what's his name? Junior Seau, right? Didn't he like go a little crazy and stuff? I don't want to like talk bad about it, but
I
something
don't
like
know.
that happened.
But
Uh,
I have heard even NFL players saying that like a lot of the hits to the head have affected them after their career. But
that's
I
really
know
weird.
I know what the league offers now is they offer that stuff to put on top over your helmet for more
Yeah.
protection. They allow the players to wear that, so that's Tua can wear that. Also, you can play quarterback and slide. I mean, Tua just needs to learn how to slide, man. I
I mean
mean,
that too. I mean that too. Like I said, it ultimately I'm whatever he wants to do,
yeah,
but like I
I
don't think your future life is worth playing football. Like there's other things you can do in football. You can be a coach, analyst, whatever. Like there's like you don't have to get away from or completely get away from the game, right? But like you said, if you do this for since you're 4 or 5 years old, however old people start playing until now, I guess that's all you know. But
Yeah, and I think that's the only reason why I'm not going to say, "Hey, Tua, you should retire," because I don't know how much he loves the game. I like, like I mean, but then again, if he has one more, what are we going to say then? So
Yeah,
it's tough. But I think you bring up a good point about the guarantee money. It's not like he's not going to get his money. He's still going to get his money. But yeah, it's just a tough break for them. I think he's, from what I hear, his plan is not to retire, but
yeah, that's what they said. He doesn't plan to retire, but
yeah,
he's gonna go see more neurologists and stuff while
yeah.
he's on the IR and stuff. So who knows? I mean, like I said, I just, it seems like,
Tua knows his body more than we know his body. So I mean, if he says I'm going to stay in the NFL, then we just gotta trust that he knows what he's doing.
yeah, yeah.
But
Let me bring this up. Hold on, sorry. Yeah, that I mean, again, he's a grown adult. He can make his own decisions. But at what point though?
well, I mean, the coach can do what McCarthy did when they call and say,
Well, that's what I was going to ask. At what point does the Miami organization have to step in to protect? Like, if Tua saying like, "Hey, I'm going to play," and as a coach, like I get it, Nick Collins, safety, yeah, but a quarterback, you need a quarterback to win in the NFL, right? We kind of like, at what point do you say, "Nah, we're gonna either release you or we don't want to put you in or whatever," because we don't want you to play for our organization and something bad happened? Like, at what point do you think that
um,
conversation happens?
I'm gonna answer that real fast. But we got Eric Villarreal in the chat, bro.
Oh shit! What's up, man?
What's up, Eric? Uh, he's just saying, yo. Um,
What
but
happened to the Cowboys, man?
do what?
And Eric of Cowboys fan, what happened to the Cowboys?
Yeah, Eric. Andrew wants to know what happened to the Cowboys. But to answer your question, they can do it whenever they want. But at the end of the day, like let's say they do tell Tua, or let's say they don't tell Tua, like, hey, we're gonna allow you to play. Can you really blame, like, and let's say he gets hurt again? Can you really blame the coaches? I mean, at the end
No,
of the
no,
day,
no. But but how many more times does this happen before? Like, in your opinion, I'm not saying what Miami would.
one more,
Huh? One
one
more
more,
time,
yeah.
like how he was, yeah. Because, like I said, when I saw that, I didn't get to watch the game live, but when I watched the replays, and I saw like the hit didn't seem that hard. Again, we're watching from the couch, but didn't seem that hard, and his arm like froze up in the air again. I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah.
But
At the end of the day, I don't think anyone's gonna hate Tua with whatever decision he makes.
no, I
I,
mean, like
I think I think it's gonna hurt the Dolphins financially, but like even then, they're gonna be like, okay, like I mean, it's his health.
yeah, yeah. So we touched on it a little bit about the 2-0 and 0-2 teams, but I don't think we got like what's the best 2-0 team right now?
Okay, I know there's 9 of them. Can you read them off to me?
Oh, let me pull that up real quick.
Actually, here I can pull up the standings right here. Oh, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. Okay, I might have. Oof. You know who I got to give it to, and we didn't even say that they look good in week 2, and we should have.
Who's that?
The Bills.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Bills, man. I think it's a toss up between them and the Chiefs right now. Because let's see, who did the Bills beat? They beat the Dolphins, and who did they beat week 1?
The Cardinals.
Yeah, you're right. I think you got to give it to the Chiefs then, but I'm more impressed with what the Bills have done more than what the Chiefs have done so far.
Yeah, because the Bills don't have the weaponry that they used to and stuff like that, right?
Mhm. I'm very shocked that he's still getting it done.
Yeah, I am too. I am too. I'm very shocked on that. Yeah, I think so. You think Chiefs are 1, Bills are 2 overall, or just in the AFC?
Yeah, because if you put week 3 matchup Bills and Chiefs, who you got?
Where's it at? Are they playing each other?
No, they're not. I'm just saying.
Oh, but you're just asking. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying if that was the week
If
3
that
matchup,
was,
who would you get? I mean, it's a toss up now that Pacheco's out. I mean,
yeah,
you give it to the Bills. I mean,
I would say the Chiefs. I would still probably go Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, the Bills were clapping them cheeks even when Tua was in.
Yeah, I know. He had 3 interceptions, didn't he?
Yeah, something like
Or
that.
something like 2 or 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew or Eric says Bills
Bills.
on TikTok.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, like I said, Josh Allen.
also said at the end of the day, it's going back to Tua. He said at the end of the day, it's about your health. Yeah, he's just pretty much saying you can't blame him for retiring. But yeah, Eric, we agree for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, I would go with Chiefs if they played next week. I would go Chiefs over the Bills, but wouldn't be surprised if the Bills won because, like I said, they've shocked me. I mean, I didn't think they were going to beat the Dolphins, and they killed them. Right?
I know we both had Dolphins in that game.
Yeah, crazy. What else?
The best 0-2 team, or
yeah. I think the best 0-2 team we both.
No. Okay, we asked what was the best 2-0 team. Did you want to ask what was the worst 2-0 team?
Yeah.
Worst 2-0 team.
I got 2 of them actually.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them, but if I had to choose one, I gotta say the Vikings.
Ooh, okay.
Just because I know they beat the Niners. The Sam Darnold looked great. I just don't see him holding it a whole season. I could say Seahawks, but at the end of the day, I think the Seahawks are a better team than the Vikings. I trust Geno Smith more than I trust Sam Darnold. And I think the other 2-0 team I didn't like was the Steelers. But they got that deep. That's why I can't put them as the worst. They got a defense. You're not going to score a lot of points against them. And if Russell and Justin Fields just has a hell of a year, they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, I went Seattle. I think I went Seattle as the worst 2-0 team.
Really? You think in a heads-up Week 3 matchup between the Seahawks and the Vikings take it?
Yeah. Oh, another injury we didn't talk about. Justin Jefferson went out though. Apparently it's not that serious. Yeah, apparently it's not that serious. They from reports, I think they said he should be back, but he went out in that game, 49ers game. But yeah, I do. I mean, I don't know what it is about Seattle. Like they found ways to win, but I don't know.
Eric says Pittsburgh.
The worst 2-0 team. Yeah, I agree with you, David. I think that defense is something else. That you're not going to get a lot of points from either Justin or Russell, but I just think that
let's see, who did they beat?
The Falcons and the Broncos. So they haven't really played too tough of a schedule yet. So,
well, I mean, the fact that they beat the Falcons just on field goals, that's pretty impressive, man.
I mean, yeah, there you go. Like I said, that defense is crazy. So I can't put the Steelers that low just yet. Now,
either. I mean, they got a good coach.
I mean, Tomlin is I'm trying to see.
I'll definitely go with the Vikings because they got Jones too. They got Jones. They got Jefferson. They got some playmakers. It's just that, do you trust Sam Darnold with the ball like after Thanksgiving? I don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, I mean, right now I got no criticism on Sam Darnold. He looks good.
Yeah, I mean, right? Like he looks good. We'll see. They play Houston next week. The Vikings do, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Good test to see where they're at.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Texans, let's jump into that matchup. Sunday Night Football, Texans Bears. The Texans another 2-0 team. I was kind of surprised at how good that Chicago defense is. Pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. That Chicago defense is pretty good.
Yeah, they definitely kept the Bears in the game.
For sure.
Caleb Williams, I think aside from the interceptions, he looked better, but there was some stuff he does have to clean up. But I was talking to Bears fans before the season. I said, look, I'm not saying Caleb is going to be bad, but I'm saying he's going to have some adversity. One, he's a rookie. One, he has all the pressure of being a first-round pick, going number 1 overall. He has that pressure on him. And then also, there's no chemistry on that offense. They got talent, but there's no chemistry. He's never played with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. Even those receivers haven't play with each other. You bring Swift in, he's new. Like, there's no chemistry. It's going to take a time for them to start clicking. And you saw that against the Texans. Like, it really got exposed. And I see a lot of people like already throwing Caleb Williams under the bus. And I think CJ Stroud gave him some encouragement after the game. And I think he's right. You know, like this stuff is going to happen. There is some stuff he got to clean up. You are a rookie. I mean, I know there's like a lot of people have high hopes about him. And I don't think you need to let go of those high hopes yet. I just think you ran it. You first of all, you're on the road against a very good team. The good news for the Bears, their defense can keep them in the game. That's the good news.
I mean, that's the reason they won week 1, and that's the reason they had a chance to do something against the Texans. So their defense is. I'm not gonna lie. As a Packers fan, like I think we'll still handle them, but that defense is kind of. I'm like, man.
By the time we play them, their offense is probably going to start clicking more than it is.
We'll see. Now, going back to the Bears offense, I saw somebody tweet this or something like that. They're like, the Bears this offseason basically did fantasy football instead of real football because they got all these weapons, but their offensive line is awful.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it is.
Like the Bears should have thought about getting some offensive line help this offseason rather than all the weapons for Caleb Williams. Because he got murdered.
Yeah, he did.
Especially late in the game. So like the fourth quarter, like he was getting killed.
He looked frustrated too, man.
What was that?
He looked frustrated about it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now if they can't clean up that offensive line play, I don't see that offense doing anything because like it was bad. So any teams that do have a good pass rush with their front line is going to kill that Bears offensive line.
Yeah.
But no, the reason a lot of people are like talking down on Caleb Williams these first 2 weeks is because the media hyped him up way too much this offseason.
Yeah.
Like that media hype was crazy. I saw people picking the Bears to go to the Super Bowl, picking Caleb Williams to be Rookie of the Year MVP or NFL MVP as well. I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, he hasn't even played an NFL snap, and then now first 2 weeks he hasn't looked the best, and they're all like, "What's wrong with Caleb Williams?" Like, no, y'all created this narrative.
He didn't even put up over 100 yards passing in week 1. I'm not really too familiar with the Titans defense. I know we play them this week, but like, are their defense better than the Colts? I'm not sure.
They got a defense. I mean, I don't know how good. Like, I'm not familiar with it either. But from what I've heard, from what I've seen, they got a defense. Because
they gave up over 20 against the Bears. They gave up 24 against the Jets.
It was the same score. The Titans had the same score week 1 and week 2, 24-17.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I know we're going to jump into the Packers, but the good thing about the Titans and us, Malik Willis came from the Titans, so he knows that defense.
Yeah.
So we'll throw that along with Matt LaFleur's genius game planning. I think we're going to be all right, man.
Yeah. So any other thing you want to talk about that happened on the other games, and we'll get into the Packers against Colts, if not?
What was your biggest upset?
My biggest upset? Ooh.
So some Charlie Jimenez on TikTok says, "Is it time to panic on Jamar?" I don't know if he means Lamar.
Jamar Chase?
Or Jamar Chase. I'm not sure what you mean, Charlie. Not sure what Jamar you're talking about.
Jamar Chase or Lamar? Jamar. If you're talking about Jamar Chase, nah, I don't think you should panic. Now, if you're talking about the contract situation, I mean, this stuff happens all the time. He did have that meltdown in the fourth quarter against
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
If you talk about the contract situation, I mean, it doesn't look good because he was talking about Bengals came to him, saying, "Hey, we're going to extend you," and then nothing happened, and so now he doesn't want to talk contract during the season, which makes sense. And then I don't think he was really featured week 1, but apparently he was injured or sick or something. So he didn't get too many targets, I don't believe, in week 1. And then this Sunday against the Chiefs, I mean, I don't know his stats off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about it. I think, like you said, the Bengals will start clicking together, and he'll him and Joe Burrow will get back on the same page.
I'll touch on the Jamar Chase just very brief because there's another question or another statement here on TikTok. So on Jamar Chase, contract wise, I do think it's an issue, but the good news is contracts always get done at the end. They always get done. So Jamar Chase, it's gonna get done. Play wise, I'm not too worried about Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase. Um, I don't think he's the reason why they're 0-2. I mean, he did mess up on that penalty, but I mean, I think on week 1 he had 6 catches for 60 something yards. That's not terrible. I mean, like we said, it's not a wide receiver 1 game, but I mean, he's not. He gonna be all right. You guys did play the Chiefs too, so I mean, of course they're gonna shut down Jamar Chase, or at least that's gonna be their game plan. So yeah, he'll be all right. Jay on TikTok says, as a Packers fan, I think Green Bay will play down to Tennessee level and lose to them this week. That's a Green Bay fan saying that.
Okay,
I mean, I kind of disagree with that, just because I think the Colts are a better team than the Titans, and I think Matt LaFleur did a very good job of getting the team prepared. I said this earlier. Malik Willis came from Tennessee. He knows their defense. So you combine that with Matt LaFleur, we shouldn't play down to their level. I'm not saying that we won't, but I'm saying we shouldn't. And as good as the defense is looking, and the Tennessee Titans have Will Levis as their quarterback, I mean, yeah, I definitely see us coming out with a win.
You want to talk about the Colts game real quick, and then we'll jump into Titans?
Well, what do you think about this guy? What he thinks about the Titans?
Oh no, nah, I don't see us playing down. Again, this is gonna go back into something I have highlighted on my recap or rundown, but I just think our defense is really good. Are going to be really good this year. As we can notice it. So I don't think we play down. We could, like you said, we could, but I don't see it. Will Levis gave both of those games away, basically. So
yeah, I would be shocked if the just to reply to Jay real fast, I will be shocked if Will Levis beats the Packers. I will be very shocked. The only way I won't be shocked about it is if Malik Willis has a terrible game. If Malik Willis has a terrible game and has tons of turnovers, then I wouldn't be shocked. But like if the Packers play like how they played against the Colts, yeah, I will be shocked that like if the Titans win, because Will Levis has looked very bad.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna move on for now. Go ahead.
Okay. So let's go ahead and recap Packers Colts. We talked about a little bit.
Hold on. Hey guys, we'll get to the questions here in a little bit. I addressed like 3. We're gonna continue with what Andrew got, and then I'll come back to the comments. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. Packers Colts. Some of the big takeaways. Run game killed it. Like we kind of predicted that last week. Run the ball a lot, get all those yards. I didn't think we were going to be that good. It was going to be that well done, because you got to think the Colts should have came out knowing the Packers were going to run the ball, but we dominated on the ground.
Yeah.
Hope I see the same, kind of jumping a little bit forward, but not too much forward. I see the same going into this week with the run game.
Do you? I don't think Jacobs needed to run over 30 times though. I'm not mad that he did, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like we got Marshall and Lloyd on the IR now.
Yeah.
Dylan is out. Like we're getting a little bit thin at running back. I know we just signed another running back, and then we still got Wilson. But like you gotta be very careful. But because I think the Colts they didn't do bad on Jacobs. They didn't do too bad on Jacobs in the second half. On the first half, yeah, he ran all over him.
Yeah.
On the second half though, like they kind of like made adjustments, and it seemed like LaFleur kept feeding Jacobs, and that he actually had some runs for losses in the second half.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I think he still had over 5 yards per carry or close to it, like 4.9, something like that. But I mean, yeah, I wanted to ask you, do you think like he needed to run over 30 times?
No, I don't think he needed to. Like, I do agree that in the second half, and I was calling for it in the second half. Like LaFleur, you gotta let Malik go a little bit more than what he did.
Yeah. Do you think 14 throws will be good enough against the Titans?
I don't. I think it will, but I don't think they will do. I think he's gonna throw more this week.
He's gonna let it rip.
Yeah, I think he's gonna throw a little bit more this week. Especially after seeing that catch or that throw to Dobbs, where Dobbs went up and grabbed it over the DB. LaFleur's got to open up a little bit more. We can't just. I mean, yes, we did it this past week, but going forward, that's not gonna cut it. Throwing it only 14 times.
Whoa.
Some of the throws were all kind of they weren't really. They were more screens and short passes and stuff, except for that a few.
Yeah.
But
so what I'll say is J-Love went down week 1, and for Malik Willis to come in, he came in at the perfect time because he came from the AFC South, from the Titans. So he's familiar with the Colts and he's familiar with the Titans. So he's going up against teams that he feels familiar with. So like I said, combine that with LaFleur's game planning, we should beat the Titans. Now I know it is on a road. Playing in Tennessee is kind of a little awkward place for the Packers to go. But yeah. I do think I will be shocked if Will Levis goes off on our defense. I will be shocked. I definitely don't see it happening. I think our defense shut him down and setting up Malik Willis for good field position, stuff like that. But like I said, as long as Malik Willis takes care of the ball, which he really did against the Colts, we'll be fine. I was very impressed with his completion percentage, 12 for 14. That's good, dude. I thought he was going to have a lot more incompletions. And then you look at our defense. Anthony Richardson is a up-and-coming quarterback, and we held him to 50%. We held him to 50% completion percentage and 3 interceptions. If you throw Joe Barry on that defense, I think Anthony Richardson has a day. I think he has a day. And I think Jeff Hafley comes in and is nah, we're gonna make it tough. Because the one thing I didn't like about Joe Barry's defense is every quarterback against us had a high completion percentage. It was very easy completion, very easy to complete the ball. With Hafley, we only had 1 sack, but we brought a lot of pressure. We forced him to make bad throws. I'm very impressed with our defense. That's what I'm saying. Anthony Richardson is better than Will Levis. I think we'll handle it, man.
Yeah. No, Anthony Richardson, I'm not big on Anthony Richardson like a lot of people are, but I do agree that he is better than Will Levis.
Yeah, 100%.
The defense definitely, the reason why Joe Barry gave up everybody that looked like freaking Tom Brady against us last year, even if they were backups coming in for injured quarterbacks or rookies or whatever, is because I feel like Joe Barry played off so far. We played off 5+ yards every play. Now I feel like a lot of DBs are playing a little bit closer. We are sending a lot more pressure than we normally do. Instead of sending 3 and 4, we're sending 4 and 5. Making, like you said, we only got the 1 sack, but pressure made him throw some of those bad throws that he did. Right. So like I said, I think our defense is legit this year. I think our defense is going to be legit this year.
I think I heard Colin Cowherd saying that he was talking about the Eagles offense, and he was saying how they ran up against the Packers defense and it's not good, this and that. And I think a lot of people are still sleeping on the Packers defense, but you can't really blame them for how we've been in the past. You can't blame them. But as a Packers fan, we know that Jeff Hafley is 10 times better than Joe Barry. We know that. So
as of now, it's still early. I don't want to say, like I said,
he is better, Andrew. He is better.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. But if we go in these next few weeks and can't stop anybody, then we might be having a different tune come week 5 or 6. But no, I do agree. As of right now, he is so much better. I like the scheme a lot more better than Joe Barry. Like I said, we don't have Preston Smith on a freaking wide receiver. That's a start right there.
I will say this too. Also, the run defense, man, it's still
shaky.
Yeah, you understand, we won this game because we played smarter, man. We played smarter. I thought we had better play calling. I want to touch on Anthony Richardson on 3rd and 1, and I think it was in our red zone, 3rd and 1. They run an option play. Why? We haven't been able to stop Taylor all game long. Why are you running an option, dude? So that's a terrible play call. And of course, as a Packers fan, I'm gonna take that all day. But my thing is John, and then Jonathan Richardson had 9 9 or 10 yards per carry. And the fact that he only let me look it up.
Richardson.
I want to know how many carries he had. He should
Who,
have had
Anthony Richardson or Jonathan Taylor?
Taylor.
And Jonathan Taylor had 12 carries, 103 yards,
Okay.
8.6 yards a carry.
8.6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
And only 12 carries? Like,
Yep.
dude, who's calling your plays, man? Like, that's terrible. That's what I'm saying. We played smarter, man. They should have ran the ball more. Like, there was times where he had like back runs of like 15 yards. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, come on. So, I mean, that is kind of like a red flag. And I think, who did the Titans guy running back? Pollard?
No. Spears, I think. Tajay Spears.
Okay. Because I know Pollard can get up and go if you allow him.
Yeah, Pollard, Spears, all that. Yeah. And where are the Titans? Oh my God, I cannot find. Okay. So I'm just kind of looking at their stats and see who's like their leader. Yeah, so Tony Pollard.
Yeah. So Tony Pollard can run if you allow him to. I mean, we'll see, right? We'll see.
Yeah. So this is another game we should have. The score shouldn't have been as close as it was.
Yeah, I know.
We killed ourselves again with penalties on the first drive.
Yeah, but that was it. We cleaned it up after that.
On the penalties, yes, I do agree. We just, of course, you'll have your sprinkled in penalties, but you think about all those penalties. The Josh Jacobs touchdown penalty, we didn't score on that touchdown. We scored a field goal. Then Josh Jacobs fumbles in the red zone, and they get the ball. That's 14 points that we should have had right there. I'm glad we won. I'm not mad that we won, especially with Midley was. But this is another game that it should not have been as close as it was. Like, they shouldn't have had a chance to do a Hail Mary. Like, I know it was like a long shot, but they shouldn't have a chance to do a Hail Mary at the end of that game, right?
Yeah.
So I want us to put it all together. Like I said, I know we don't have Jordan, so I'm not really holding this against us right now. But I want to be able to say, like, hey, that was a great game, like, by both sides of the ball, right? Because our defense has been stepping up. Like, what's that?
Hey, hold on. Hey, Hattie. We're gonna address the comments here in a little bit. I'll answer your question here in a little bit. We're just touching on the Packers game, and then we're gonna answer some questions and then continue talking on the Packers. But I want Andrew to finish this point. So go ahead, man.
Yeah, no. What I was just saying is, like, if we can just put a complete game together, clean up the penalties early on, because like I said, that first drive killed us with the penalties, the holding. Our defense is, like I said, going back, it's legit. We have 4 interceptions, 5 turnovers.
We had, with Joe Barry's defense last year, we had
7.
a total of 7, and this year we already have 5.
5, right?
And
4 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery.
3.
What's up?
I said last year we had a total of 7. This year we already have 5, but we have also dropped 3.
Yeah, right. So again, like, the defense, going back to your point, is so much better. Like, we just need our offense to clean up the penalties more than anything. Like I said, we could have won.
I thought we played a complete game. Aside from that first drive, the offense didn't do terrible, and we ran the ball. Like, oh my gosh, our running game is so deadly right now. Like, no one can stop us running the ball. Even against the Eagles, we did good running the ball. And then you look at special teams, dude. We had what, two or 3 punts inside the 20. Like, that's not bad.
Yeah, Whelan was punting Sunday. He was definitely punting that thing.
Yeah, and then Narveson, I like the kid, but, like, are you really gonna go 3 for 4 on field goals every game?
Yeah, every game, yeah.
That's gonna be an issue. Right now, it's not, though. I mean, like I said, I like the kid. I know I said last week he hits from 65 in pregame. So, I mean, like, I'm not gonna give up on the kid. It's way too early. But I'm saying, like, if he continues 3 out of 4, like, I mean, yeah, LaFleur he's not gonna be okay with that. LaFleur is offensive genius. I think he did very good. He set up Malik for success. Like, a lot of his passes were backward throws, and they went down as rushes. So, like,
yeah, he has to utilize, especially if Malik's going to be playing for another week or 2. He does have to use, I think, Jaden Reed more in reverses and as a running back, because we got to get him involved a little bit more for my liking. Then we go back to the stats because I feel like he didn't.
They were about to cut off my live.
Oh,
Yeah, but okay.
I feel like he didn't touch the ball that much this game.
Who?
Yeah, he had 2 receptions and 2 run rushes. So yeah, Jaden Reed.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be I think him and Jacobs are our best offensive players besides of Jordan right now, or since Jordan's out. Now we did, like you said, we did give the Jacobs 32 times, but I think Reed has to touch the ball more than 4 times. Especially with Malik Willis at quarterback right now. That's it. Get him on end arounds, get him on bubble screens, whatever you got to do. But we got to get Jaden Reed the ball a little bit more.
Yeah. I'll just say this before I address the chat. We'll go back in there. But what I wanted to say, with Malik Willis putting up 16. That tells me the defense can give up 17 points a game, more or less, and we still have a good chance of winning.
Yeah.
I think Malik will continue to put up points against the Titans. I'm not saying he's going to put up a lot, but, I mean, like I said, we had a lot of missed opportunities in this game to the point where we should have scored over 20 points.
Over 20 points, for sure. I think Malik is going to throw a little bit more than what he did. He'll probably get up to that 17 to 20 range. I would hope. That's what I'm hoping.
I see him definitely throwing a lot more. But then again, it depends on how the game goes, Andrew. Because
that's true. If they run the ball like they did, this time, I could see it going the same way.
Throwing 14 times again.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's true. But go ahead with the chat.
So, with the chat, let me see. Yeah, okay, that was the last one we addressed. Someone said, do the Saints continue to roll against Philly?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so. I know we're doing picks at the end, and I haven't decided.
Who's home?
Let me see. I'm about to pull that up right now. The Saints.
Yeah, they continue to roll. I mean, 15. You scored on the first 15 possessions of the game. Eagles are not known for their defense. They're an offensive team. So I do think the Saints will score on the Eagles. And the Saints defense isn't too bad either. So with the way things are rolling right now, yes, I do think the Saints should continue to roll against Philly. That's not me saying that Philly's a bad team, though, because they're not.
Yeah. Like I said, I know we're picking games at the end of the stream.
We are picking games at the end of the stream, guys. So I mean, like, another question right here: do you have the Patriots being the Jets this week? I don't. No. It's a Jets home opener. I don't see them losing it.
Yeah.
I got the Jets. You got the Jets.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll pick because that's the Thursday night game. Yeah. Like I said, we'll pick games at the end.
A lot of these stuff are like, there's also people in here talking about fantasy. I'll be honest, guys, we're not really going to touch on fantasy in this live. But Jordan also says the Eagles defense collapsed. Definitely on the last drive for sure. They did. I think they played a little too soft and they paid the price for it.
Yeah, they for whatever reason did not guard the sidelines and make everything go towards the middle. If they were going to give up big chunks, they didn't force everything to the middle. I don't know why.
Also, Jordan, I'll add the difference between the Eagles defense on the last drive and the Falcons on the last drive is the Falcons brought pressure. I actually thought that guy coming off the end kind of disrupted Jalen's throw on the interception. And I think if the Eagles would have brought pressure, maybe, or even if Kirk Cousins wins the game, you got to give him some kind of adversity on that drive, and he had zero adversity on that drive. So I thought that was a huge red flag. If the Eagles are smart, they'll clean that up. But we'll see.
Yeah, they made me lose money. I bet the 5.5 points, and they didn't do it.
All right. Last thing we're gonna address before we continue. Jordan also says Falcons upset Chiefs this weekend. That's a I don't know about that one. It's not an ugly pick. I don't think it's an ugly pick. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Trying to see. Atlanta's at home. Sunday night game.
Sunday night game at who's home?
I think Atlanta's at home.
Yeah, probably. The Chiefs have had 2 home games already.
Yeah.
I want to. So we're gonna touch back on Packers, and then we'll come address the chat here a little bit, guys. So, the one thing that still does concern me, and on the defense, of course, we talk about the run, but also, what do you think about that slot corner position with Nixon there?
Keyshawn, man.
Yeah,
he had a bad game.
Do you trust Keyshawn in man coverage?
At the moment, no, because I think he had a bad. I think he has had 2 not good games. I don't know what we need to do in that position. I don't know who else to put there.
Well, okay, I wanted to run that by you. You don't think Valentine deserves it?
Valentine. See, I don't know because you had texted me during the game what happened to Stokes because Valentine was on that one of those coverage.
Stokes was doing good.
So yeah, I don't know if he got hurt. I didn't see anything that he got hurt or anything. I don't know why he wasn't in on that play.
I was told he got benched, but I'm like, how? He was doing well. Like, I don't understand why the Packers were benching him. I don't think he got benched. Something happened, Andrew.
Yeah, I until you said something, I didn't even know. To be honest with you, didn't even notice it. Because I'm not gonna lie, I've been watching a lot of the linebacker. Hold on, before I get into linebackers, Valentine in the slot. Yeah, we'll try him out and see. Right now, it looks like Keyshawn's getting kind of beat right now.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That was one. Didn't he almost have the pick six, or he should have had the pick six?
Against the Eagles?
Yeah, against the Eagles. He's the one
that.
I
think he was one of them, and Jair was the other.
Yeah, but last week he was not.
Yeah. I know someone in the chat mentioned that they think we're gonna have a Titans game like last year against the Giants. Someone in the chat mentioned that, and on that last drive where we played very soft and Tomlin DeVito took it down the field, there was one play we were playing man coverage and Keyshawn got beat, and that's what set him up in field goal position. So, and then I see like with Hafley, we're gonna play a lot more man than with Barry. So that's why I ask you, like, do you trust Keyshawn playing man? Because the slot, there are a lot of slot good receivers out there. That's my thing. And Keyshawn was kind of he isn't like he was never known to be a corner, right? Like he was more of a special teams guy, and we needed help at corner, and Keyshawn came in, and Keyshawn does help out at the position. I'm not saying he doesn't. It's just that Valentine is a cornerback at the end of the day. That's why I was just saying, like, because he had a good breakup in the game against the Colts. I don't know if you saw it in the end zone.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, I don't know. We're definitely gonna be playing a lot more man, and I'm here for it. We as Packer fans got to know with this type of scheme, we are probably gonna give up a lot of big plays, but.
It's known to give up big plays, but we've only given up one to AJ Brown.
Yeah, but like I said, but it's gonna happen. I'm letting Packer fans know now. It's going to happen. Somebody's gonna get beat, but I'm here for it because it's rather than they can do that, and we still try to send pressure, get pressure on the quarterback. Hopefully, do intercept, force turnovers like we have been doing, but. Last year with Joe and the years before with Joe Barry's defense, we played off, so we didn't get beat, and they would just march down the field, waste all that time, and still score. So, like I said, I'm here for it. Like I said, knowing going into this year, knowing how they play a lot of one high safeties and a lot of mans, I know we're eventually going to get beat deep. But if it turns into a lot more turnovers and a lot more pressure on quarterbacks, I'm fine with it. To be honest with you.
All right. So let's go back to the chat. If anyone wants to join, we don't mind bringing you up for a little bit. But in the meantime, you can request and I'll bring you on. In the meantime, want to address some of this stuff. Charles says, where do you rank the Cardinals? Right now, we were talking about this earlier. I said that, the Niners are not necessarily in trouble because the Rams, they have a lot of injuries. And what are the Rams 0-2?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so
Oh,
they're still 0-2 with dealing with a lot of injuries. The Seahawks, I don't really trust them, but the Cardinals could be up and rising to look good. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't trust the Cardinals right now, but they did look good against the Rams, and I think the Rams are well coached. I think they're a good team, even though they are dealing with injuries. I definitely did not see them getting blown out, and I think Kyler Murray, I think he slept on just because he's been hurt. But Kyler Murray is not a bad quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback at all.
Yeah.
We put Marvin Harrison on that offense as well. They can be deadly, and I think they show that week 2. It's just a matter of can they be consistent with it. Right now, I do not trust them, but I'm not sleeping on them either.
I like the Cardinals. I think I'm a little bit higher than you on the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
I like them. They played well against the Bills week 1. Again, they dominated the Rams. So yeah, we said, and we know the Rams are hurt, offensive line's hurt, receivers hurt, all that good stuff. They, like you said, Kyler's a good quarterback with Marvin Harrison getting involved this past week. Is good for them. They can run the ball. My only thing is, I think they have a good defense. I didn't get to watch the game, so I'm not sure I don't have a gauge on their defense or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a little bit high. I think they are going to be in the hunt, I think. After these first 2 weeks, I think they're going to be in the hunt with the 49ers.
I got them missing the playoffs, though.
Okay.
I got them missing the playoffs, but they're not a bad team. It's just that the NFC is stacked, man. The NFC is stacked this year. Like, it really is.
Because if they make the playoffs, that means 2 teams are coming out of the West. And I agree. I don't see 2 teams coming out of the West.
Well, everyone was big on the Rams, but I'm not so sure anymore, man. Just because of
injuries.
Their 0-2 record doesn't scare me for them. It's just their injuries, man.
They're injured. Yeah. They're gonna have have an uphill battle with that because of the injuries. And I mean, starting off 0-2 doesn't help at all either. But
yeah, Junior says lots of injuries out of nowhere. We'll address this one last one, even though I feel like we kind of addressed it earlier. Thoughts on Saints? We touched on that here earlier. We think they look good. I'm impressed with their offense. Scored on the first 15 possessions. That is very impressive, especially against that Cowboys D. I know a lot of people are high on the Cowboys D. Me, I don't think they're terrible. I just think they're inconsistent. But still, it was in Dallas. So lining up that D in Dallas on the Dallas home opener, that's something that shouldn't be overlooked. So my thoughts on the Saints. My thoughts is that the NFC South is still wide open. I could see the Falcons winning it. I could see the Saints winning it. I could see the Bucks winning it. At the end of the day, right now after week 2, I still have the Bucks winning the South. But I know last week Andrew said that he had the Saints winning the South. I told him I don't think it's an ugly pick. I don't trust Derek Carr. I don't trust Derek Carr to get it done.
Yeah.
He's getting it done right now, though. I will say that he is getting it done right now. It's just that history has proven that Derek Carr doesn't get it done.
Yeah. To me, I again, like you said, I picked the Saints to win the South. I thought they've looked good these past 2 weeks. I know, David, you said you have it's a 3-team, probably a 3-team race. It could be. I think the Falcons. I'm not high on the Falcons right now, even though they did beat Philly. I think Philly lost that game more than the Falcons won that game.
Yeah, that game looked like a playoff game.
Yeah, I still think it's either Tampa Bay or Saints, and like I said, I have the Saints winning, so I'm high on the Saints this year.
I just think Baker. I think Baker is proven.
Baker's looking nice too.
I think he's proven himself.
Baker's looking nice.
They got Godwin. They got Evans. They got D that can play. I mean, they went into the Lions on this weekend and laid it to them. And then I think they won by 17 on week 1. So yeah, and then last year, if you look at the Packers game against the Bucks last year, they spanked us, man. They spanked us. So. And then they beat the Eagles in round 1 of the playoffs last year. So, yeah, man, as of right now, I definitely got the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mad at it.
All right, so I don't know if my settings are set up to the point where I could bring people on, but I I know someone wanted to come on, but I guess he didn't request. We got Hobby, friend of mine, saying "Go Cowboys." um,
Be tough, tough few weeks with him.
my friend Hobby says the Cowboys are winning this year. Y'all always say that, bro. You'll probably lose to the Packers in the playoffs again.
If they make the playoffs.
Yeah, if y'all even make the playoffs, but y'all should. Y'all are a good enough team. Y'all should clean up whatever y'all got going on right now. A lot of fantasy stuff. To be honest, guys, we're not gonna address the fantasy questions. Just thoughts on the NFL week 2. What y'all think about it. And then, of course, if anyone wants to come on, y'all can come on. In the meantime, we'll go back to the game.
Packers. You still want to talk Packers Colts? Packers Titans.
Either or. Either or.
Did you have any other thing to talk about Packers Colts? I think we kind of touched on everything.
Defensively, we'll let's run a summary of the defense, run a summary of the offense, run a summary of the special.
Okay, so
and coaching, and then we'll move on.
Okay, so you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Whatever. Yeah, I'll go first. I do got to use the restroom though. Give me a second, guys. All right.
You went to the restroom?
Yeah.
Fast as well.
Oh, it's right there, dude. All right. Okay, we're gonna like I said, we're gonna go away from the comments on TikTok for now. Just a little summary on the Packers game, and then we'll probably come back to the comments. Yeah, a little summary on all phases of the game. Defensively, I think we look very good. We have 5. I don't know how many turnovers we have for the year, but I know we have 5 interceptions for the year, which is very impressive. Run game, I think Saquon ran for 100 on us last week. Richardson ran for 100 on us this week.
Taylor.
That does need to be cleaned up. I do like the pressure we're bringing, though. Like I said, Anthony Richardson, 50%. Completion percentage is very good, along with 3 turnovers. A lot of his throws looked ugly, but I do think it was because of the pressure that we brought. I think we were in his face, even though we only had 1 sack. I know a lot of people were talking bad about Richardson after this game, but they weren't talking bad about him after the Texans game. So you have to give credit to the defense for slowing them down. It's just that Taylor still looked good. That run game, man. I think Hafley will do a better job than Joe Barry fixing it, but as of right now, they kind of look the same as far as handling the run right now, which is kind of the only reason why that concerns me is playoff time. When it comes to playoff time, you either have to run the ball or you have to stop the run. Running the ball is very good in the playoffs. I know a lot of teams are going to try to run on us in the playoffs, Well, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I do think the Packers are a good enough team to make the playoffs. That's my thought on the defense. Offense, I thought he had a very good game plan coming in. I think he set up Malik Willis for success. Executed very well. I think the execution, you can give it an A+, man. I really do. I think Jacobs did fine as well. He did more than fine. Did what he needed to do, plus exceeded. And I think he'll carry on to the next game, if I'm being honest. I think just because LaFleur, you could tell in this game he had confidence in Malik. Next game is going to be even more confidence. So I do see him throwing for more than 14 times next game. And then special teams, Whelan, of course, did good, punting inside the 20. The 3 for 4 on the field goals. Got to clean that up. Can't have 3 for 4 every game, but like I said, I'm not too concerned. At the end of the day, we got to win. In coaching, I think A+ too, both sides of the ball.
Yeah. So defense, like you mentioned, I think we played hell of a defense. As far as you mentioned the run, like Jonathan Taylor still getting 100, Saquon getting 100. that to me, I was gonna mention it earlier. That comes that Quay. I know Quay almost had that interception, but I think he has to step up more in that middle linebacker.
He's been
I'm
criticized a lot.
huh?
He was criticized a lot.
Yeah, I like I said when I rewatched it, I was like, man, like I just didn't think he's not playing as dominant as he did his rookie and sophomore year. I think he just needs to do a little bit better. I think Isaiah McDuffie played a really good game, in my opinion. But Isaiah McDuffie is not like we need more than Isaiah McDuffie as well to help. I think when Adrian Cooper gets fully healthy and into this offense, because Adrian Cooper missed all the offseason with his injury, so they're kind of slowly bringing him in. I think once we can be able to put him fully in there, I think our run defense will be a little bit better, in my opinion. But overall, defense, great defensive outcome. Um, Created turnovers. Offense, like you mentioned, game plan. They had a game plan and they stuck to it. It worked. Malik looked good on his passes. Only 2 incompletions, over 100 yards, a touchdown pass, no turnovers. It's all you can ask for a backup quarterback that just came into a system. I do think it's going to be pretty similar. Hopefully, they'll throw it a little bit more next week or this upcoming week. But overall, offense played well as well. You said you gave the offense an A or the game plan an
Yeah, well, no, yeah, the offense and A, yeah,
A? An A. I'm in the A. I'm gonna say A plus, but I was probably A. The penalties still gotta.
yeah. No one had us winning. No one had us winning.
Oh no, yeah, no. Except for like people that watch Packers football.
Yeah,
Like we talked about this last week that we could win this game very easily. We all thought this because we all knew that we were gonna run the ball. Colts apparently didn't know we were gonna run the ball. I don't know what they were thinking.
yeah,
Um, so going to the coaches, Matt had a game plan and he stuck with it. He might have stuck with it a little too long, in my opinion. Like he probably should have switched up a little bit in the second half, but got the win. That's all that matters. Wheelan his punts. Like I think you mentioned, he had 3 inside the 20 or something like that.
yeah,
So he did good. And then Narvson 3 for 4.
yeah,
Can't go 3 for 4 every day, all week, but I think he'll get better as the season goes on. Overall, good game. Got the W.
yeah.
On to Tennessee.
So we have already touched NFL. We touched the Packers game. If you want, for the rest of the live, we can do our picks for NFL Week 3, and then we can answer questions in the live.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna just make our picks, guys, and then we'll come back to the live, answer y'all's questions. I see we've got some people writing in. But all right. So
You mean go down the list?
yeah, I was trying to bring it up, but yeah, if you want to go down the list.
Okay.
Um,
Thursday night game, Patriots Jets. I think we both answered this question.
hold on, I want to pop it up too. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Jets.
I got Jets as well.
Okay. Do you want to pick the spread too?
Oh, we can. I lost a lot of money this week doing that. So what? Jets are -6.5.
Oh,
Man,
nah, I'll take Patriots plus 6.5.
plus 6.5. You'll take the spread.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a lot of New England football this. Like I haven't watched the past 2 games. I just saw the.
But see, but then Thursday night games are always blowouts, and they're not even close, man.
Yeah. True.
But see, the Patriots always find themselves in the game. I have no idea how, but they do. Yeah, give me the Patriots with the points.
To the points.
And then, but money line, I got Jets.
The Jets, yeah. So yeah, you got it open. That's a lot. You said this is the Jets' first home game?
Yeah.
Give me the 6.5. Give me the Jets -6.5.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, give me Jets.
Giants, Browns. Browns are home.
Giants, Browns, Browns.
I think that's a gimme. What's the spread on it?
-6.5 for Cleveland. I'd take that.
Yeah, give me the Browns -6.5.
Yeah.
Eagles, Saints. Saints are home.
So we kind of mentioned this, like if you pick the Saints, you didn't You weren't mad at it. So the Saints, or was it? See,
Who does Vegas have as a favorite in this game?
it looks like the Saints -2.5.
Damn, really? I can. That's a very good spread, though. I could see the Saints being a -2.5 favorite in this game.
Yeah,
I got the Saints covering the spread.
covering it.
Yeah.
That's,
But this
that's
is
a
one of
field goal, right? I mean,
this is
you
one of
get
those.
3 points for being at home.
I won't be surprised if the Eagles pull it off, though. Like it's one of those games where, like,
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
I got the Saints. Like I said, I'm gonna ride with it. I've been high on the Saints since this
yeah.
season. So I'm gonna go Saints.
I'm picking the Saints over the Eagles because the Eagles' defense is not great and the Saints' offense is clicking.
Yeah,
That's why I'm rolling with the Saints.
yeah, I'm going Saints as well.
Vikings Texans. Ooh, Vikings are home.
And Vikings are home. The Texans, to be honest with you, they've looked all right, but they haven't looked great like they were like last year.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Hey, Carlos, we do respond to the chat. It's just that we're doing our game picks for week 3, and then we're gonna come back and address the chat. All right. All right. So yeah. What were we saying?
The Texans, I mean, they've won both of their games. You know, they played a good Bears defense, but they didn't look too great in that game. They played the Colts again. They looked all right. Joe Mixon got banged up in that Bears game. He's day to day. Texans are -2.5 favorites.
Damn. I think Vegas got that right. I
I'll,
got
I'll probably go Texans, and they're covering the spread.
yeah, I got Texans covering the spread too because the Texans defense did very good against the Bears too.
Oh yeah,
Like and then I see them shutting down Darnold too. I think Jefferson might have like a 6 reception, 60-yard game.
if he plays.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He got hurt. I mean, they said it wasn't serious, so I mean, all signs as of what I saw reports yesterday was he doesn't plan to miss any time. But you know, things happen throughout the week, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So Broncos Bucks. I think we're pretty Bucks.
Bucks, yeah, 6.5 -6.5. Wow, couldn't get that out.
Yeah, the Broncos can't score.
Yeah, and Tampa Bay's at home.
Yeah, give me the Bucks.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to pick Packers Titans because I mean I'm always gonna be biased with that. I'm a Packers fan. I don't want them losing. So
I mean, I can pick it honestly. I can pick Packers honestly.
I got the Packers regardless. Like if I was truly being honest about it too.
We're underdogs.
What's the spread on that game?
We're +3.5, so we're the underdogs. Or +3, my bad, not 3.5, +3.
They got us underdogs in Tennessee. Wow.
Yep. I'm taking us as well, and I'm taking more than 3. I think we beat them by more than 3.
Yeah.
I think we beat them at least by a touchdown.
All right. Bears Colts.
Colts.
Colts. That's a tough game to pick, man.
Yeah, and then you want to know the spread? They got Indy favored by -1.5, or -1. Sorry. I'm picking the Bears. I think the Bears beat the Colts.
See, I don't got. Man, that's a tough game. I'll go opposite of you on this one. I got the Colts.
You got the Colts. I got the Bears. I just think since our defense did so well against that Colts offense, I think the Bears defense is going to do this pretty similar. So,
all right. Chargers Steelers. Ooh.
I got the Chargers
on the road.
On the road, Chargers are underdogs. Wow, that's crazy.
It's in Pittsburgh, man. But I do. I mean, Chargers got a good coach now, and I don't think a lot of people saw them going 2-0. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. I'll take the Chargers.
Okay, I got the Chargers.
Dolphins Seahawks.
Seattle. I think Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle's home. I'll take the Seahawks too.
Hey,
I think there was a Dolphins fan in the chat. Who's y'all's backup? I don't even know who y'all.
Tyler Thompson.
Okay, yeah. Give me
that. Yeah, they got Seattle favored because Seattle's home.
Bryce Young getting benched, so Andy Dalton going into Las Vegas to play the Raiders.
Yeah, on Carolina's game.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got the Raiders.
Give me the Raiders.
Yeah,
49
they're minus 5.5.
This is a hard game too. 49ers Rams in LA.
Give me 49ers. I think the damn. Oh yeah. Give me 49. I think the Rams are just
They got
too
no
good.
receivers, right? They got no receivers now.
The Rams, yeah, like nobody. Their offensive line, I think, is still hurt. I think they might be getting somebody back from the line, but don't really know. San Fran is favored by 7.5. It looks like.
Okay, I'll take San Fran.
Yeah,
This is another tough matchup, dude. Lions Cardinals
in Arizona. I got the Cardinals. +3, or Detroit's favored by -3.
I'll go opposite on you on that one. I'll take
Detroit.
Right.
I got Arizona. I think
I want to see the ones we differentiate on. So far we differentiate on Bears and Colts and Lions Cardinals. Okay.
Did you pick the Steelers or you picked the Chargers?
No, I got the Chargers.
Oh, okay.
Ravens Cowboys. Dang, these last three have been very tough to pick. Yeah, but
I'm gonna go Ravens. I don't think they start 0-3.
You think the Cowboys drop their first 2 home games?
I think it's very possible.
I think it's possible too. Will it happen?
I just don't see Baltimore going 0-3.
Yeah, give me the Ravens.
If they go 0-3, they might be in trouble.
I see Lamar going off, man.
Yeah, and this is basically a pick'em game too. They got Baltimore favored by like a point.
Chiefs Falcons.
Give me Kansas and Atlanta. Give me Kansas City.
This is another game where I'm not shocked if the Falcons win.
Yeah.
Give me Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Kansas City is favored by 3.5.
I think
we have 2 Monday night games, I think.
Yeah, we do. So last 2 games, Jaguars, Bills. I ate Bills.
Give me the Bills as well.
Yeah, I think that I don't even got to think about that one. Commanders, Bengals. That's another one I don't got to think about. Give me Joe Burrow.
Yeah, give me Cincy. Give me Cincy.
All right. So we pretty much differ on Lions, Cardinals, and then Bears, Colts.
Yeah.
And no, we both picked the Ravens. Okay, so we'll see how those 2 games go.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet too. Like I betted all this last week. As you can tell, my last week's record wasn't the greatest because there was a lot of teams that not upset, but like one that I was kind of shocked at. So I'm gonna put some money down this weekend as well. Some games.
So I'm gonna go through the chat for a little bit. Let's see. 14-19. Okay, let's see what the chat has to say. What are your thoughts on the whole Dolphins now losing Tua? I think the Dolphins are in trouble. I had them winning the.
I think we both did.
I had them. Yeah, we both last week we were talking about who we thought would win the division. We both had the Fins winning, but after Tua goes down and how good the Bills look, and the Jets are going to be up there too. I think the Dolphins, depending how much time Tua misses, I think the Dolphins.
He has miss at least 4 weeks. At least.
I think the Dolphins might possibly miss the playoffs, man.
Yeah. Depending on if I don't know who's out there, but I think it's Skylar Thomason, whatever his name is, Skylar, their backup. If he doesn't do good this week and maybe next week, maybe they go out and try to find a veteran quarterback that's out on the. I don't know, but
if the Dolphins want to save their season, it is wise to go find someone.
Yeah, because they have so much talent on that team that they.
Yeah. Chris says Pats will upset. It is a division game, but I don't see them beating the Jets. It's the Jets home opener. I don't see them losing. But for some reason, I've said this before too, the Patriots, they always play people well. Like they're always in the game. They're always in the game. For the most part, you don't see them getting blown out too much.
Yeah. I mean, seems like they've been playing pretty well these first 2 weeks. So, I mean, wouldn't surprise me. I think the Jets are going to start finding their groove though here.
Yeah. Caden says thoughts on Cowboys and Ravens this week. We both got the Ravens,
but it's a toss-up. It was a toss-up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if the Cowboys win. It's just I think Andrew made a good point. I don't really see the Ravens going 0-3. Like
0-3.
they'd be in trouble if they go 0-3.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would throw in the towel on the Ravens too, and not necessarily playoff wise. Like I think they would still possibly make the playoffs, but like no one would really consider them a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, hold on, real quick, because I'm just gonna look up their Week 4 matchup. If I can find them, because if they do go 0-3, then they got the Bills.
Yeah.
So if they go 0-3, they could possibly go 0-4 against the Bills. Like, and then that's could be. I mean, now Packers started off really bad last season, and we turned it around. So never say never, but it's not looking good.
Yeah. EQ says it's possible without Tua. Anything is possible, but I think that's more wishful thinking. I think that AFC East is a lot better than what people give it credit for.
Yeah, because nobody thought. To be honest with you, I didn't think the Bills were going to be as good.
Well, he also said maybe go get Jimmy G since he played with McDaniel. I don't think that's a bad idea. Jimmy G knows how to win. He's not the best, but he's better than y'all's backup.
Yeah, and that's a good point. McDaniel is a good coach, so who knows? He might be able to bring out the best in people. Maybe call up some plays for either Skyler or Jimmy G or whoever to win some games, at least until Tua can probably come back. So, I mean, because they don't have to win every game while Tua's out, but just stay in the race.
Yeah. See, I think that was it. There was Saints versus Eagles. I think we said the Saints.
Yeah, we both have Saints.
I don't think the Eagles defense is looking too good. They're not looking too bad, but they're not looking too good, and the Saints are looking really good on offense.
But again, it wouldn't surprise me if the Eagles put up 30-something points against the Saints, and it's a shootout.
Yeah. The last thing we got is Quan just said, I believe the Ravens will bounce back. I think they will bounce back, but I also think they have to, man. They have to. They can't go down 0-3 in the AFC North. Like, no way. I mean, because like even on your divisional games, like you got the Bengals, they're gonna be tough. You got the Steelers, you're gonna have trouble scoring on that defense. And then who else is the Browns? The Browns is known for their defense too. It's just that their defense is not as consistent as Pittsburgh's. Pittsburgh's defense is very consistent.
Yeah.
The Browns, they can punch you in the face defensively too. So I do think the Ravens, they can't fall 0-3, man.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be a tough hole to climb out of if they start 0-3. But
we also got another. Caden says thoughts on Falcons. Do you think it was luck or not?
The Eagles definitely lost that game. I don't think the Falcons won that game. Like, I mean, of course, scoreboard, but the Eagles lost that game.
Yeah,
but luck. I mean, no, the Eagles just didn't play defense the last minute and a half in the fourth quarter.
My thought on the Falcons is one, they should have lost the game, but if we're talking about luck, it wasn't luck because they had to go down and score a touchdown. You have to have a very good 2-minute drill to do that, and they did. Luckily for them, the Eagles were not playing. They weren't playing like they didn't bring pressure. They let Kirk just sit back there and throw. But I mean, if we're being honest, if Saquon catches that ball, it's game over. But going into Philly on their first home opener and pulling out a win, that's impressive.
I mean, it's huge for the confidence going forward for sure. But they did not win the game. Philly lost that game. Even if Saquon doesn't catch the ball, if they run the ball, I still think they win the game.
So Quan also says, what do you think needs to be done for Baltimore to get back to winning? Well, here's the thing. Baltimore, let's see. What was the score on Baltimore?
It was Baltimore last week against the Raiders.
I think y'all need to close out games. Y'all had 23-13 against the Raiders and then blew it. And then you against the Chiefs, you lost by a toe. But on the play before that, I think Lamar had someone wide open in the end zone and just he missed them. So like y'all need to learn how to be clutch, close out games, and you guys will be okay. I mean, let's not act like like Baltimore Ravens suck. They don't suck. They're a good team. It's just right now they're not putting it together.
Yeah,
So
they should not have lost to the Raiders. They should be 1-1 right now. So
yeah,
um,
yeah. But I will say losing to the Raiders does not look good. I think especially at home. It
yeah,
does.
looking at some of the stats, I don't have all of them up here. I mean, Gardner Minshew went 30 of 38,
That's an issue too. Gardner Minshew going off on your defense. That's an issue.
276, one touchdown, one interception.
Well, he ain't.
Devontae had 9 receptions for 110 yards and a touchdown. I mean, yeah, that defense needs to probably step up a little bit. Let's see. Let me look at the rushing. Derrick Henry had 18 carries. That's another thing y'all need to do a lot more. I mean, feed Derrick Henry the ball.
What was Henry's stats against the Raiders?
18 carries for 84 yards for an average of 4.7, and he had a touchdown. So not a bad game.
That's not a bad game. That's
Not a bad game. Lamar rushed carried 5 times for 45 yards.
Ooh, what do you think about this? Caden says, personally, she thinks Slay is washed.
Darius Slay from Philly.
Yeah.
Washed. Ooh, that's a tough word.
I don't think he's washed.
Say, huh?
I don't think he's washed. He got burned. If you observe that play, the final play where the Falcons scored the touchdown, Slay's eyes were in the backfield instead of on London. He should have been playing the receiver. Instead, he had his eyes on Kirk Cousins. But even then, Kirk Cousins was looking his way the whole time. Like, I'm a little shocked that he got beat. Like, it was a nice route, but Slay is a better defender than that. And
yeah, I don't think he's as good as he was. Like, I don't think people fear him like they used to, but I don't think he's washed.
Yeah, I don't think he's washed either because, I mean, did he get burned other than that play? I mean, because we got to observe the whole game too, guys. I mean, yes, he gave up the game-winning touchdown, but like, what was his stats before that? Like, did he get burned all game? I'll be honest, I wasn't paying too much attention to that.
I'm trying to see if I
can. Someone says that it's not a bad take that he's washed. I don't think it's a good take either, though. I mean,
like I said, I don't think he's washed, but I don't think people fear him or
I can jump on that. I can jump on. People don't fear him. Like, I could definitely jump on that.
Yeah, like he's not. Hold on, let me.
She said that she feels that he is always giving up the most important drives. I guess you really got to watch the Eagles games to know that. So I wouldn't know if that's true or not. But I do think Slay is a good cornerback, though. I will say that. I don't think he's terrible. I don't think he gets picked on too much. And I will say this, Caden, because we were talking about this last week when the Packers played the Eagles and A.J. Brown beat Jair. He burned Jair. And we said, you always want your best cornerback on their best receiver. But when that happens, your best cornerback is going to get burned from time to time. So, I mean, Slay is going to get beat from time to time. It's just like, if it's once a game, you can live with that. You can still win the ball game if Slay gets beat once a game. Now, if he's getting beat multiple times a game, then yeah, that is an issue. But let's be honest, like a lot of y'all's cornerbacks, they're rookies. Like none of them deserve to start over Slay. I will say that. So I'll defend Slay in that sense.
Hold on. I'm trying to look. Yeah, if we're more talking about the last drive of that game, like I said, I don't know what Philly's defense was thinking. They were in more of a prevent defense, which is fine, but you got to force everything middle. And it seems like there was, from the top of my head, it seemed like there was 2, maybe 3 plays where receivers got to the outside and were able to get out of bounds. You can't have that with the team that doesn't have timeouts late in the game. Yeah. So I mean, because I feel like Kirk Cousins didn't really have a good game. I mean, looking at his stats, he didn't have a horrible game either.
Yeah, he had a good last drive.
Yeah, and so and if the majority of that's the last drive, then that's crazy because 20 of 29, 243 yards or 241 yards, sorry, and 2 touchdowns. It's not a bad game. Has a pass rating of 117, but again, if that's all that last drive or majority of it's that last drive, then wow.
Yeah. It always comes down to Andrew too, like the team, like especially when two teams go against each other, it's whoever makes the plays when they need to be made. Like that's who wins the game, man.
Mhm.
That's who wins the game. If you look at the Eagles week 1, they were the team that made the plays when it mattered. If you look at them week 2, they were the team that didn't make the plays. Saquon dropped the ball. And look, I will say this about the Eagles too, that the coach is not getting enough criticism for it. At the very beginning, quarter number 1, 4th and 4, y'all go for it instead of kicking a field goal. That's 3 points right there. And it was a chip shot. That's 3 points right there, and y'all lose by 1. So, I mean, come on. It's not Slay's fault, man. It's not Slay's fault. I mean, I think we live in a league right now where like people get so greedy for a touchdown. Like it's the first quarter, it's 0-0. Kick the damn field goal. Why are you greedy for a touchdown? You don't need one. You need points. Like get on the board. And they didn't. And that's 3 points, and then you lose by 1. So I mean, there was bad coaching in that game too. It's not just Slay.
Yeah.
But all right. So
Anything else?
I think that might be it for the night. I think that was good. We addressed the chat. We talked about the NFL. We talked about the Packers. Um, if anything, I'll leave up any more Packer talk. If not, we can go ahead and close out for the night.
Okay. So just real quick, going on to Packers Titans for a second. Matt LaFleur hasn't ruled out Jordan Love. Do you think there's a possibility he plays?
Yeah, someone in the chat said, "Is Love playing this week?" I don't think so.
I doubt it. Like me personally, I doubt it. But Matt LaFleur did say in order for Jordan Love to play, he needs to practice. So if he's not on the practice field, he's not playing.
Yeah.
But he didn't rule out that he wasn't going to practice this week. So I think the injury report comes out tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Yeah, tomorrow. So we'll see. I'd be shocked if Jordan Love plays this week. I think give him one more. I think he plays next week against Minnesota. I think he plays next week, depending on how if nothing goes wrong this week with his knee. But
yeah, I can I think the whole team is okay if Malik Willis plays this week because it's his own team. I mean, he knows him. He knows him well. Like it's the one team that you wouldn't mind Malik playing against. Like it's his own team. And I mean, if Malik can pick apart the Colts, I mean, he didn't pick them apart, but he did his job. And like if he could just do his job in Tennessee,
don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, just don't turn the ball over. You're gonna give the team a chance to win. And as far as Love playing next week, I would even put a question mark on that too, especially if we win against the Titans and we're 2-1. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna rush him back. I don't see him sitting out past the LA game though. I do see him coming back against the Rams. Like latest.
The latest.
Yeah, if he's not back by the Rams, then yeah, I'm starting. I don't think it's like. I think it might be a little bit more serious than what they're.
Well, see, that's the thing. If it was more serious, they would have put him on IR.
Yeah.
For us to clear a roster
spot. Well, and that's a good point too. Like the fact that he's not on IR, and if you saw him on the sidelines in the Colts Packers game, he wasn't limping. Like he looked fine. I think he was wearing a brace. But aside from that, he looked fine.
It more looked like a sleeve, like a leg sleeve rather than a brace. But like I said, I doubt this week he'll play. Like I said, depending on how he feels this week, I think he plays against Minnesota because that's a home game. That's Minnesota versus Packers in Green Bay. He might play, but again, because I'm with you. If he's not ready, don't rush it. Especially if we beat Tennessee.
And you also got to understand, like, you can afford him to sit out another game because San Fran lost, Eagles lost, Lions lost, Bears lost. The only team that didn't lose is Minnesota. Yeah. So, like, I mean, and that's the one team that you don't really have a lot of confidence in to finish out strong, right? So, like, if there is one team to sit on at the top right now with J Love down, it would be Minnesota that I would be okay with. Like,
yeah, because then we say they play Who do they play?
Who do they play or who
Oh,
do
the Texans. Yeah. So we if they lose it this week, the Texans, and we win it, we're 2-1, 2-1. So
yeah, and that's a possibility. Them losing to
Yeah.
the Texans, this is a big possibility.
yeah. So I'm with you. Like I said, don't see him playing this week, but
Yeah,
coach didn't rule it out this week. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, it is going to be a little bit more tough for him on the road than it was at Lambeau, because at Lambeau he has a crowd behind him. In Tennessee, it's going to be very interesting how they welcome Malik Willis back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, and I think the last thing Tennessee wants is the quarterback that they traded away to just go off on them. So it's very. I'm very interested in the defensive game plan they got for us, but
Yeah.
we'll see, man.
Yep. They're going to run the ball again a lot.
Someone said, hold on, I just want to address this. Someone said Willis revenge game. I agree. Brian said Stroud or Mahomes. Mahomes.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes.
Stroud is a very good up and coming quarterback, though. I know a lot of people are big on him this year to win MVP. I don't have him winning MVP this year, but
Who do you have winning MVP?
I won't be surprised if he wins, though. I won't be surprised.
Yeah, Mahomes won the MVP.
Yeah, I got Mahomes winning MVP before Stroud. I got Josh Allen winning MVP before Stroud. I got, believe it or not, I would probably put Dak before winning MVP before Stroud. Yeah, there's a lot of quarterbacks I would definitely have before Stroud.
I have Stroud. I could have Stroud up. I think I have Stroud up there. I think Mahomes could win it every year, but I think it's going to be almost like that LeBron effect, where LeBron could dang near have won MVP every year. I think Mahomes, it's just one of those things. I think Stroud. Now he has to play better. I feel like he hasn't played up to what he was doing last year. Now they're winning, cool, but I think he'll need to get better. But I think I do have Stroud up there. Josh Allen keeps doing what he's doing. Josh Allen is a really good candidate.
Josh Allen's a good pick.
Yeah.
Someone said Derek Carr MVP. He's definitely MVP for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
but my issue with Derek Carr is history has proven he's never consistent and gets it done at the end. So I'm very interested to see how long this lasts.
Yeah.
The Saints got going. But I think they are the number one team that I'm most impressed with, because I did not see them scoring on their first 15 possessions. That's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild.
I don't think they had a lot of hype coming into the season as well. So
yeah, there was talk that because there was a debate on who would be the first coach to be fired, and a lot of them said the Saints coach. So no one really had big hopes on them, man.
Yeah.
But all right, man. I mean, I thought that was good. We can wrap it up. Unless the chat has anything else, I'll give it a few minutes here and there.
More questions.
But if there's nothing else, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up.
Nothing else?
Nah, man. So we go ahead and wrap it up. We'll do this again next week. As of right now, I'm still good for next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, it's cool with me. It's yeah. I don't have anything next week.
Everyone in the chat, if you want to join us again next week, as of right now, it is next Tuesday. We'll recap week 3. Next week, Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Central time. So, all right, man. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all for coming. YouTube, TikTok, and yeah. All right, bro.
All right, man.
All right.